right? Dentist, orthodontist, right? Same customers, don't compete. So it makes sense, and you see this a lot, right? They will team up, right? Or they will just refer people. Restaurant, movie theater, right? Right? Same customer, not competing. So the question is going to be, who is in my market? Who markets to my customer? How can I team up with them? And there are a number of ways we can team up with them, right? One of the easiest ways to team up with them is to have this, right? That's my leverage. When I go to somebody with a joint venture, one of the things I'm gonna tell them is, hey man, I send email to 12,000 people. Do you wanna partner up on this thing? Because I'm gonna say, hey, all I gotta do is send an email to my people about your thing. What can you do for me? What does that do? What that does is that gets me what? This. Doesn't cost me anything. Not a dime. So in other words, I've spent no money out of pocket. I get customers that are relevant to me who want what I have because I've looked at the person, they market to my customer. So I pick my partners, as you will too, right? You pick your partners based on the stuff they offer. Do they market to your customer? Do you market to their customer? What can you do for them? What can they do for you? Right? And this, a little more sophisticated, happens more in digital marketing and internet marketing, but it is really cool when somebody does it in their brick and mortar business. And that is, I have these people out here, right? Some are customers, some are just, internet people. Some are, some are just looking to make more money. And so, what am I going to do with them? I'm going to give them an incentive. I'm going to give them every time, and then all this is automated. All this can be set up through my website. So that every time they make a sale, I give them a cut of it. Right? Every time they get a sale, what does that do? When they make a sale, what does that give me? A new customer.
When they make a sale to the affiliate marketing people,
Right, okay,
how do you give them an incentive from your?
Great question. Some of it is automated. Some people don't do it semi-automated. So I see a sale come in, and it's coded on my website that Sharon made that sale for me. So what I'm going to see to it is that if you and I have an agreement that every time you make a sale, I send you 20% or 30%, I just send you 20 or 30% of the sale. Maybe I do it at the end of the month, maybe I do it instantly. What's the benefit of that? The benefit of that is what? You brought me a new customer. I did pay for it, but I didn't pay for it up front. Right? Whatever it is, I could just take off whatever profit I was going to give, made on that product, I'm going to give that to you as your commission. Because where am I going to make my money? Here. Right? I can give up a commission to you because I know that I'm doing exponential marketing. I know that every time somebody buys something from me, what am I going to have? If I'm in a brick and mortar store, I'm going to have somebody who's going to upsell that customer. Right? So I can give up a commission. I can give that up to you because you brought me the customer. I didn't have to advertise it for them. And so joint ventures and affiliate marketing are just ways to get more customers you do not pay more for up front. And because of that, that brings them back to where? Puts them back into our marketing fund. When I get a new customer, what's going to happen? They're going to get more opportunities to buy, and they're also going to get opportunities, excuses, come back and buy from me more often. That's what I want, right? That's what I want. I want them to have opportunities to buy from me more often. I'm at the, I didn't hardly get through 10, 11:29. Okay, so I've talked a lot. Let me take questions on USP, on exponential, on list building, or affiliate marketing joint ventures. Any questions? Good. Tell me what your business is.
I'm in the financial services. I work over here in Campbell.
Okay, fantastic. Excellent.
What type of common questions do you usually get?
Well, one is, in particular, is how to do email marketing. How do I get people to opt in? How do I get people to want to be on my email marketing list and want to hear from me? So,
Is that a verbal thing, or is that a,
can be,
yeah.
right? So, I could, so if I were in financial services, and I know you've got, your industry is highly regulated. More than likely though, whatever company you are with, they do have, a way of saying, giving the customer an option to check off a box if they want to hear more from you. And that's probably what your company doesn't. If not, on a personal level, I'm going to send them, I'm going to have on my site something that says, here are the 10 things that every baby boomer, 10 ways that you as a baby boomer are probably ruining your retirement right now. So, in order to get this report, you tell them, hey, just give me your name and email address. I will send you that report immediately. And all they do is they put their name and email address in the box. Their name goes into a database, and then they get the report. Now, that means then that they have given you permission to start talking to them on email. That's a common question. Another common question.
So, so since he's in financing, he has so many tools in the toolbox to start that relationship, that conversation, because not only are the baby boomers like myself, thinking about retirement and where's the best place to put my money, but also you have the ones, the millennials that's just coming up, and what's the best way for them to begin to invest their money so that by the time they work 10 years, they see some results on their money. So in financing, to me, that's the world right there.
And that's exactly what we're doing. With digital technology, we are creating ways, right, especially with email marketing, to reach more people. So who are my people, right? So if I find out who my people are, now I may not want to go after millennials. They don't have any money sometimes, right? Sometimes they do, right? The ones that we do, but
there's some who does, and
there's some who do and some who don't.
Future.
But if I got to spend my time, I want you.
Because I have the money.
Right, no, and it doesn't mean that millennials don't. It just means that if I have to spend my time, you're my customer. right? You might be. Or if I have this book, now, let's go back here though. Now, let's say that my USP is I know how to make millennials money. I can help you. These other financial people, they're not out there talking millennials, I am. And so I set myself as the millennial guy. So I start writing reports. How millennials can start saving, here are 10 tips for millennials to start saving money, even if they don't want to. Some people are gonna go get that report, some people are not. They need to write another report, or put another, or video together. Get my free video on 10 things millennials are doing to ruin the next 5 years of their life financially. They go in and get that report. All of a sudden, my USP becomes the reason some people are attracted. Now, what happens is, Sharon, you come across this report and you're thinking, well, I'm not millennial. Or you might be, yeah, you might be a millennial. So you come across and you say, well, that's not for me. I'm going to go talk to Sarah. Because Sarah's talking about things and about retirement. But that's okay because he's attracting the people who he knows it's about how he delivers the service. Right? It could be the way he delivers. And in a highly regulated industry like this, he doesn't have a lot of room for differentiation, but if he's known in circles as, right, this dude knows how to get millennials their money. They start to come to him. Sarah's out and says, you know, I know this guy, I was talking to this guy, he knows about millennials, maybe I'll go talk to him. Because that's his USP. And so, I come back to this, and it doesn't seem like it, because this is not a tagline, right? This is how we do business. If I have an artisan, right, I do soaps. Lord have mercy, if my wife buys another. She buys another piece of soap and brings it to my house.
Well, I buy another soap, my husband will put me out, or any product for that matter.
Goodness gracious. But Sarah says, I don't know, mine doesn't have this stuff in it. It is from Central PA. Everything was made here. All natural. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Yes, it's going to cost you more. Sarah does not need to compete on the basis of price. She doesn't need to try to compete with Dove. So the minute she comes down, she tries to cut her price and compete with Dove, lost cause. Doesn't need to do that. What she needs to be telling people is the benefits of, I don't know, grass-fed soap or something like that, right? Because there are people who will say, grass-fed soap, I never heard of that. I got to, they want stuff like that. And so, again, USP, it doesn't seem like it's a hardcore thing, but it's the most important. And it's not that you put that as a tagline, it is sort of the way we do what I'm known for. If I know that in Central PA, I can only get that from Sarah, I'm going to call her, right? When I want to give a gift to somebody, right, who I know, they got to have gluten-free, they can't, or they got all these allergies, I'm going to call Sarah. I'm going to go to her website, because she's the only one that has it. Now, obviously, right, big company, they're going to come in, and they're going to try to compete, but Sarah's going to stay ahead of the game. Right? Sarah's going to develop here, the next thing. She's going to develop this, she's going to develop this, right? And so when you have a USP, what you start doing is you develop here too, you develop vertically. So yes, grass-fed soap, liquid, particles, all this stuff, but then other products that people want. Vertically, and then or other product lines. But it comes back to, though, what can I get from you? Even if you're regulated, what can I get from you, right? Now, you can't, there's probably a lot of stuff you can't say. But if you're known in the marketplace by doing something that everybody can't do, you develop this expertise, like through all securities laws, but you know how to break them down for Generation Xers, right? They really don't have any money, right? So, because they either paid it all out or they borrowed it all out, and so they don't have any money either. So you learn how to make them money. And so this 50-year-old comes in because you were the guy, right? You break through all that clutter. And when you do your blog post, I don't know if they let you at your company do blog posts or you write your emails, what are you going to write about? The stuff 50-year-olds talk about. Where do they hang out? What are they talking about? Your USP becomes the way you deliver the service. Right? 50-year-olds probably can't, they probably got a job or two,